and such. So we're moving right along, 18 minutes in. Oh, it's going to be a long night. Horribly long, evil, nasty, horrid, awful night. Yeah, I got no charm in me. Yeah, I'm just all charmed out. I don't know exactly why, but I'm already sick of winter, and it's not even started yet. It's just horrible. Yeah, apparently I'm going to freeze to death. I think that's my plan. It's going to get cold as fuck again. Well, there's a person. It's kind of green. Maybe he's Vulcan. That'd be good. Let's just pretend he's Vulcan. So let's ask him logical questions. The Vulcan guy. So why do you Vulcan guys live? I mean, what's the logic behind living? What's the point? Where are you going? What are you doing? What's the point? We don't have any microphones on Vulcan. Oh, he's only 21. Oh. What's that mean? You can't think? Oh, I can't form whole sentences yet. This is a complex question. But you can buy cigarettes, you little fucker. You should share those. Yeah, well. Yeah, a real cigarette would be nice right now. Hmm. I think I'm allergic to this new stupid juice I got for my e-cigarette. But I've been smoking it anyway. Eh. I've been running the damn thing too hot too. It's been burning my lips. And then the cold air has been freezing the skin off my lips, and it's all quite miserable. Yeah, no New Year's for me. You know, what are moral judgments again? If we cut moral out and just say value judgments. So there's a ton of value judgments you can make that are obvious, right? You know, two wrongs don't make a right, you know? I mean, there's lots of easy ones. Don't rape your mother. Probably not a good idea. Ooh, Bonnie girl. Look at that. That's really a surprise. I haven't seen her in like 3 internet years or something. Yeah, well, Schopenhauer's sort of old news. I never thought much of him, frankly. I read a couple of books, and one of them was a biography, actually. He seemed to be quite a weasel and a little turd. You know, his mother seemed a more interesting person than he was. But I mean, he was just these typical elitist types, you know. And you know, he's a chauvinist, and you know, he really wasn't all that, you know, perceptive, in my opinion. Uh, he was all gooey over Buddhism, which I didn't understand. Found it a comfort. I don't know how does Buddhism comfort anyone? What's the comforting part? Find a fire to jump into. You know, I don't know. Is that going to work? I jump into a fire and that's going to fix everything? You know, my girl looks all serious. Must be the hair. It's that hair that makes her look all serious. There, she's smiling now. Yay. Look a little cranky. Yeah, well, Matt's still making videos. Just totally wacky. Ah, you drank too much. Well, that'll get you in trouble. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, Schopenhauer just pointed out some, you know, obvious crap about life being a little bit miserable. But I'm just saying he kind of did it from, you know, he was really, you know, it was a guy who was more concerned about how he was dressed than the people he was talking about living miserable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he spent a lot of money and he pissed it away on bullshit. And then he talks about Buddhism. So does that make any sense to you? It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, Matt Fails just did a video on that Holon's network. It was some chick who was talking about vampirism. But, you know, so it was a little wacky. But the chick was sort of edgy. You know, she was like, had a tattoo and she was all kind of whacked. So, you know, by comparison, Matt Fails looked pretty good. You know, sane and all. Seem to have lost the sound. Can you hear me? People of Earth. Here now. Okay. Me here now. Talks Frankenstein talk. Yes, here now. Yeah, maybe we'll have Frankenstein night. We all talk like Frankenstein. Yes, master. Oh, that's Igor. No, we don't want to do Igor night. That would be a bad idea. Igor was a little bit of a loser. Yes, Frankenstein's monster, but of course he's Frankenstein, right? You can't do, you don't, what else are you gonna call him? You don't call him monster. That's not very polite. I mean, his name was probably like Joseph Lunderberger, but, you know, there's no point in calling him that. Yeah, she is kind of cute, like Jesus. Oh, it's that slimy Australian puke. Ew. It's probably all hot and sweaty, which makes it even more obnoxious. Ew, Australia's like some kind of like sweaty armpit of the universe right now.
37 degrees today.
Yeah, a bunch of sweaty, stinking Australians. I can smell them from here. Ew. I'm gonna nuke that shithole. Fucking on kangaroos and snakes. Stupid country. Yeah, it's been nothing but fucking cold air, which sucks. It was actually warm today, but it's all going to hell soon. Yeah, well, I still talk to left of center. Yeah, he's too important a person for, you know, regular YouTube anymore, so. But he's doing well. Yeah, well, you can buy a hair dye that only, just washes out, right? A few times I thought about it, to see what my hair would do black or something. Be interesting just for a day or two. Yeah, red is good color, yeah. My mother actually has red hair. Yes. Well, Australians are known to be stinky. Dirty and stinky. Smelly and cruddy. Slimy and gross. Yes, well. Yeah, it looks like her face is rounder too. I still owe her some money. I have to send her money. I don't get around to doing anything. It's horrible. I went to look at my email the other day, and it was like 574 emails or some kind of silly number like that. It's like, oh, fuck. Let's see. All right, we're half an hour in, and we haven't really said anything sensible or reasonable or intelligent or smart. So it's about average. Oh, buying gold. I think you're out of your mind. I mean, buy it if you have a place you can sell it really fast. You just don't want to get stuck with it. Because, it still has some up potential. When the crisis first hits, it'll spike. But I wouldn't want to hold it too long. I think it's going to come down, crashing down right after it spikes. Maybe it'll hit 4,000 and then it'll just start falling like a rock. A lot of poor people in the world have a lot of gold. And, once they can get rich selling gold, they're going to start doing it. Well, gold's valuable just because there's so much debt in the world. So people keep raising the price of it by using somebody else's debt to bid higher. So everything's getting bidded up on debt tickets. Fake perceptions of wealth.
It actually has some pretty good practical uses. It's a good conductor. If you had wires made out of gold.
Yes, it has plenty of practical uses that would make it reasonable to cost about $8 an ounce rather than, $2,000 an ounce. So yeah.
Well, yeah, the problem is we don't have enough of it.
Yeah, well, we have plenty of it if people weren't hoarding it. So again, we have plenty of gold to do all the iPods. We could gold plate all the iPods, and we could gold plate everybody's whatever coffee cup. We could gold plate an awful lot of shit if the stuff didn't cost $2,000 an ounce, and if we weren't storing it in vaults and shit. Yeah, there's lots of people with gold-plated toilets and bathtubs. Some Iranian guy actually had a solid gold bathtub, which was rather amazing.
So all the gold in the treasury in New York City and Fort Knox, is it solid gold bars or is it just crap mixed with gold?
Yeah, right. Just shut up. Shut up.
There's a question.
Shut up. It's stupid. Wouldn't matter anyway. We don't pay bills with the gold in Fort Knox. The gold in Fort Knox is totally irrelevant to anything. It means nothing.
Yes, and that's why you could use it for stuff.
Yeah, well, the point is we can save it, and when it's worth a lot of money, then we should sell it, I suppose. I mean, it's just, the shit isn't worth anything. There's no point, I don't know why they're even bothering to hold it anymore. But, most of the gold is actually in the Federal Reserve now anyway, I think. I mean, I think the Federal Reserve is storing more gold than the Fort Knox. But who cares? It's all crap. It's just a crap world we live in. That, nothing's rational. It's people. This is a stupid element. And it has very good practical uses, and we can't use it for all the practical thing we could be using it for because assholes are hoarding it. But I mean, yeah, compared to silver, it really is kind of ludicrous. I mean, the silver is almost more versatile. It's a little more durable. Gold is kind of mushy. And silver's a pretty good conductor. It takes heat much better. So, I mean, and what's silver? $35 an ounce? I mean, it's just hilarious. Ooh, I don't like Nietzsche. He's dumb or unethical. Well, that's kind of funny. Yeah, right. Or dumb or come on. Yeah, right. Try every bad adjective in the universe. Why? Serve one's countries to do what? Murder people? I mean, come on. You're not serving any kind of honorable ambitions. It's all dishonorable capitalist ambitions. So, when was the last honorable war the United States perpetrated? Exactly. Well, I suppose that crap we did in Herzegovina thingy or whatever wasn't too bad. I mean, it worked out anyway. I thought it was a horrible idea, but the fact is they got Milosevic out and everything seemed to work out pretty good. Yeah, that whole Bosnia thing seemed to be a pretty good war.
Actually, it wasn't. Yugoslavia was in $6 billion of debt, and now every of the 6 republics is 10 times that in debt.
So what? They're not killing each other, you retard. And such. It's not a war in Afghanistan. It's just, it really isn't. What, we control Kabul, and that's it. The rest of Afghanistan is, gone back to the caveman. I think we ought to just breed like them big giant lizards, like monitor lizards or something. America ought to just breed a whole bunch of those and just drop them in the Middle East. They just run away. Let the monitor lizards have it. Let them eat all them Arabs. Yeah. Be done with it. Well, yeah, stink bugs. Yeah, let's raise some more. Let's collect all our stink bugs, and drop them from whatever F-15s. Drop stink bug bombs. That'll ruin them fast enough. They eat all their heroin. They won't have any more heroin. Then they'll really be done. So, sorry, any Arab people in the audience. Nothing personal or anything. I just kind of hate the whole fucking idea of human beings being diverse and all that shit. I'm just sick of diversity. Fuck diversity. Fuck people and their personality disorder bullshit. Fuck all this crap. Let's all just play along here. We evolved on planet Earth. None of you fuckers are spiritual. None of you are fucking goddamn channeling Cleopatra or any of this other bullshit. You're all a bunch of fucking whatever, hairy vaginaed and smelly bald motherfuckers. Quit pretending you're doing something else here, because you're not. You're consuming and you're reproducing and you're stinking and you're fucking smelling and you're fucking addicted and you're fucking goddamn, what's the other word? Useless. Something like that. Just quit pretending something else is happening here. Come on, clean this place up. It's a pigsty. All the crack whores. Let's all go out and beat crack whores with a broom so they stop having babies. Let's have beat a crack whore day. Ugh. So sick of these fucking people and their babies. Babies. Yeesh.
Well, I mean, the good thing is that we're kind of worshipping babies a lot less, I think. Women are starting to become more independent. Less about the baby.
I know, but we're making more of them because of we're giving all these goddamn fucking poor people all this goddamn fucking vagina food. Keep feeding their vaginas, and the babies keep popping out. We gotta quit fertilizing that shit. Yes, it's all about the stupidity, unfortunately. There are no crimes, there's just ignorance. But it doesn't matter. It's like rabies. Ignorance is like rabies. You gotta shoot whoever has it. Whoever has the ignorance, you might as well just shoot them, because they'll spread that shit.
Most people judge good or evil on the intentions rather than the outcome of it. And I think I'm starting to realize that ignorance is really evil. Is the only evil in my opinion.
Well, that's all there is. It's the only thing you can blame for anything. It's all about the stupidity. Wow, somebody's ragging on poor little Evander again. Well, I mean, yeah, you can just keep making these arguments forever, but, you know, even sensible people, they should just realize that, yeah, it just makes sense. You don't lay eggs until you make a nice, pretty nest. Yeah, nice, fluffy nest. Nice and comfortable. If you don't have a good nest, you don't lay no fucking eggs. Well, anyway. But it's like every kid I see now, I just keep thinking, oh man, is he gonna be one of the ones who wakes up and says, holy shit, my mother's a skanky cunt. Yeah, my father's a dumbass, and I'm stuck on Earth. Oh shit. This kids start off
It
all
didn't take
happy.
me very long. I still recall in grade 9 I told my mom I wish I was never born.
Yeesh. I did ask my mother, what were you thinking? Yeah. Yeah, what was the plan? It's easier people too. Like, my mother had kind of a taste of hard times and all that kind of shit, the depression and whatnot. It's like, you know, no excuse for setting it up for somebody else to go through all that shit.
Well, I mean, even you take a look at people that went through the Holocaust and all that, and some of them after still had kids, I would assume.
Yeah.
It's just like, why?
Yeah, well, why people do it, I guess, is still, but why they keep defending it is the part I don't get.
I mean, sometimes I try to see what they're seeing, try to see it from this super optimistic perspective, but I just sort of can't. Like, I can't undo what I already know in a way, or my own perspective. I can't undo my own perspective.
Yeah, it's strong. Love is kind of I never did the love thing as a word, to tell you the truth. I mean, I never even did it romantically. It just never really worked for me as a word. So, I had a problem with love right from, being a kid. It just wasn't a very good word. Always seemed like such a lie. You either want somebody for a reason, you know what I mean, you want something, or you care about somebody, but, it's just one word does not fit all kind of thing. You can't use the one word to describe all your different relationships with people. I don't even think it's a matter of social conditioning. I just think it's a matter of people have to, nobody wants to just deal with the fact that it is not a romantic story. Life on Earth is not a romantic story, and they keep wanting to make it into some kind of fairy tale, and it's not. Or something spiritual or something more interesting. And if they just stuck to the truth, 4 billion years of evolution, 500 million years of it just to create a little scheming weasel. I mean, that's our nearest descendant is what? Scheming weasel. All right, we're the family Weasolia scumholia, right? That's our family heritage. And before that, it was fucking salamander. I mean, there's nothing good about what we're made out of. Liar, naturally blonde, says you. Yeah. Prove it. There you go. Ha ha. Gotcha. That is funny. There's that other chick, that Rena Webb, right? She's naturally blonde, which is funny, but she looks so good with dark hair. And, yeah, it's just kind of funny. It's just, whoa, somebody knocked their coffee cup over. Hope it didn't spill on anything important. Like all that electronic stuff down there. The computer and such. Anyway. I probably should get something to drink. Probably. Where was I? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see, there's some weird hair there. She's making faces. Oh, she's eating. Oh, okay. Well, I just don't give a damn. What the fuck? Who cares? Speaking of the crack horse, there my shows up. You're just saying, where's the crack horse? Hey, there's one. Yep. I'm going to drink me a bottle of scotch and then take the kids out for a drive. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. And such. It's amazing how many people think we have free will. Well, yeah, I know. It's amazing how many people think Barney the dinosaur is real. And Lulu and Poo Poo and Toofoo. People think Oprah's not a robot. You know, people are just totally fucked up. Ugh. Well, they certainly can be held culpable, you know. I mean, like I said, even if something's broken, like say my toaster stops working, right? I don't cut it a break. I don't go like, oh, well, I'm sorry, it's not your fault, you're broken, blah, blah, blah. No, I throw it in the fucking garbage. I buy a new toaster to replace it, and I just humiliate the fuck out of it. I call it a loser, and just say, you're a loser. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, you just say, fuck it, and you buy a new one that works. And in this world, I mean, you can buy a human life for fucking pennies a day, right? Pennies. Fucking pennies you can buy some human being. You know, so why the fuck should any of these fucking useless sacks of shit pieces of garbage, even if it's not their own fault that they're dysfunctional piles of crap? It still doesn't matter, we still should trash compact the fuckers. I mean, myself included. I mean, I'll put myself on the list. You know, I mean, I'm not on the top of the list probably of the useless, but I'm probably definitely somewhere on the list. So, you know, do the crack whores first, and, you know, it's okay. You can throw me in the compactor. I just want to make sure all the other crap goes first, I guess. Just in fairness. Yeah, you can't even fix anything nowadays anyway. Everything's shit. I was sitting there, I was fixing a sump pump today, and all the screws are rigged so you can't take them out, you know, because they got a special tool to unscrew the stupid screws. And so anyway, I go through all this bullshit to take it apart. Yeah, the motor's all blown up and the oil seal's all broke open, and you know, couldn't even fix it anyway. That pissed me off. Because everything's made of shit. Cruddy, cheap shit. Pieces of crap crud. I shouldn't complain, isn't it? Bought it used and for $5. So yeah, I got what I paid for. Yeah, shouldn't complain. So anyway, where were we? Oh, that's better with the hair, yeah. Tied up hair is probably better than fucking messy hair. For chicks, anyway. Mostly. Let's see, Benatar written off. Well, you can't. I mean, Benatar's hardly psychopathic or depressed, so that's kind of silly, right? Come on. Benatar's boring, though. That's what he is. Benatar is one boring motherfucker. I mean, I reviewed the book, and I was kind of generous. You know, I was just kind of trying to feel good about it and say, okay, it's a pretty good book. Yeah, it's good. No, no, no. First chapter's okay, but the rest of the damn book will kill you. It'll absolutely kill you. It'll just... He's going on and on and on, isn't he? You know, he just keeps saying the same things over and over. He just keeps saying about what? You're biased to your liking of your life, then over and over. Well, anyway, just, yeah, I didn't like it. But I don't like anybody. So that's my whole problem. I really don't like anyone. Yeah. Yeah, it is too philosophical. That's it. It's just not, I mean, he has like nothing earthy, nothing human, nothing, I am a human talking to humans. Except for, like I said, in the beginning, he seemed like he was going to talk like a regular person. And then he just started, you know, just doing all this labored value, but it wasn't even straightforward value stuff. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just not fun to read. Yeah, well, like I said, it was all just backup stuff. It's like, it's like you got to the point in the beginning, the first couple of chapters, and then he basically admitted, well, the rest of this book is just the main, backup arguments for these arguments. So at least that was the good part. You knew you already read the best part. And there was a value to this asymmetry argument. I hadn't thought of it in that. I had always used the term zero-sum game, but the idea that a not bad is not the same thing as a denied good. Well, that an absent good isn't a harm. That's it, really. Put simply, not having dessert is not a harm. Conspiracy against the human race. What's conspired against the human race? Giant anus that ate New York or something? Human race slipped on its own poo. Yeah, I wouldn't bother. I don't like a name like Ligotti. You can't trust somebody like that. It's not a proper name. And I wouldn't bother reading it. Almost an hour in, and we have accomplished nothing. Yay! You people all suck. Yeah, you really do. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other people in this room, and not a single other person has uttered a single audible sound. Well, yes, they have. Okay, that's right. Whatever Mayor Kraft guy did.
You keep telling me to shut up.
Oh yeah, an Australian guy. Yeah, I told him to shut up. That's true. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I was going to get something to drink. Well, yeah, your mic does suck. I don't know. You make the videos, you make them as good as you do with a shitty webcam. You must be an expert guitar player. You had a real microphone. Oh, somebody asked a question. Oh, I don't want to hear about the homeless. I hate the homeless. Ugh, I don't like anybody.
Hey, Gary, do you think if you were going to write a book, do you think you might dictate it using voice recognition software? Because I know you've said that you find writing to be incredibly, tedious, right?
Yeah, well, talking, it would be impossible to write a book that way, in my opinion. Right? I mean, you're still going to have to compose pieces of sentences. You get themes, you get ideas. I just don't see how it's not going to help you any with editing. So I don't think it would help that much. I mean, I suppose it's one way you could just slop it all down, and then you could just go through it and try to find a sentence or two that makes sense, and then try to smash those together. I just
Yeah,
mean
well, I
that.
mean, I think that might be an effective strategy, you know.
Yeah, there's a certain, some people have a real knack for writing, where they can make it interesting and they can put enough personal stuff in, enough this, that, and they know how to do that shit. And it's just not my thing. in the first place, and I also just find writing tedious in that if I have time to think about what I'm writing, then I tend to I try to get too much out of it, you know what I mean? I try to say too much in too few words. But I just don't even buy the argument that it matters if you write all this shit down that somehow it's going to matter. I mean, people still aren't going to want to hear it. I don't know if people are going to make rational arguments against it. I mean, where's a good rational video, as a response to Benatar? Go kill yourself. I mean, there aren't anything, so, it's not going to change the caliber of the argument. And Benatar really doesn't do too much of this, he doesn't go out and do the conference circuit or anything. Not that he gets invites to anywhere, but I'm just saying, you don't see him anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the comments. He's not very visible, and he's not. I mean, I don't think he's very accessible at all. And I haven't really done much research on him lately, but I know there's like a radio interview on YouTube.
Yeah, you cut out there, but yeah, there is in that one. I've heard that too. But yeah, there isn't much, and he's written some counter arguments to some people who wrote arguments. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like you got a guy kind of promote stuff, and he just isn't he's just not doing that.
And obviously there's the book, but it seems like he doesn't really. He's not.
You got a lot of lag, Evandor.
I just don't think he got a lot of responses. I mean, everyone just sort of, oh, I don't want to deal with this argument.
Yeah, well, like I said, dude, you got some in some periodicals. Some people wrote some stuff, but yeah, it wasn't much. But it's just not something. It's not a public conversation. That's for sure.
And how do you bring something like this topic to the public? It seems, I mean, I think that's just the hardest part of this. Because, I mean, the argument is sound, but...
Well, I think Benatar's his brand of antinatalism isn't all that marketable, to the general public, because basically the way the approach, and he's not really taking it into these grand terms about sentience and just the negative value inherent in sentience, so he's focused on like a smaller sort of part of it that's not that important, or the stakes aren't as high, I don't think.
No, I don't
I'm
think
pretty
that.
sure he did cheese out on the whole animal thing.
Yeah, well, he said that
He
right
was
from.
like, this may or may not apply to animals.
Right, I mean, he doesn't talk about all sentient life.
Well, he does though. He says this applies to all of that stuff, but he's not going to. He pointed out that he doesn't see any point in conflating, are distracting from the primary subject, which is humans and their human perception of humans. So he knows that has to come first. People have to get over themselves first. Appreciating the condition of the animal species is, I think his argument might be something like, people aren't going to appreciate animals until they recognize where we are first, what we are first. So that sort of has to, being humble about being human has to come first, I guess would be the argument he would make. Recognizing our animal nature. So,
I mean, it is weird because in psychology class or whatever, I mean, I was always depressed learning about psychology, but other people weren't so cynical after. I mean, after I learned about psychology, like, I just hated human.
yeah, I suppose there's some of that. I mean, I have to admit it didn't do me any good. The more you think about what people are. But I think it has more to do with what you see in yourself too. You know, um, we're just not very nice by nature. Um, there's some other point I wanted to make. Hmm, lost it somewhere.
Well, I mean, I almost became disgusted with myself. Well, I did.
Well, I guess that's sort of the point of the whole thing, is that you sort of have to, I mean, whether you feel this subject or understand this subject, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say how you can, it's like, I mean, I have to admit, it's just really easy for me just because I already kind of got it, I mean, I already was negative in terms of my own personal experience, in the sense that I knew life was way too messy for my taste. It's way too imperfect. It's too sloppy, too smelly, too stinky. So, it wasn't very hard for me to realize, oh, it sucks because it sucks. Oh, I get it. That's real. It totally sucks. That's why it sucks. I mean, the idea that it's fundamentally broken as a concept, just creating these need machines, and we just go into the world and try to eke out our little bit of graft and then die. I mean, the whole concept is just ludicrous when you look at it. I mean, I did this when I was a kid. I mean, I had a pet lizard, and our neighbors squashed him, and so I buried it in the front yard, and then I dug it up a couple of months later, and just because I wanted to see what really happened. You hear these stories. Oh, black and white dog. I had a black and white dog. His name was Petey. Had the same kind of eye. He had one black eye and one white eye, though. Yes. Smelly dogs are smelly, though. Smelly, smelly, smelly. Smelly. But really, I should try
Gary,
to
didn't
find
you
a
say
picture.
your neighbor, he picked up your lizard and smashed it off the wall or something, and that's what woke you up to the horror of the reality?
It up. Yeah, the lizard, I lived in Louisiana, the lizard would just sun himself on the garage, and we had an open garage, one of those half-wall kind of garages. And so, yeah, the lizard was there every day. He would just sit on the wall, and I'd feed him, and he just, it was my lizard. And so, yeah, the guy thought it was just a pest lizard, and so he just smushed it, crushed it. And go, yeah, I killed that crappy lizard for you. Like he was doing us a favor. No. But, yeah, like, it was just the idea that when I dug it up, and you just see this little desiccated lizard, and you're saying, yeah, this is life, right? Okay, you live a cruddy life as a lizard, you get squished by some asshole, and then you turn into a bunch of leathery, dried up, dead shit. And that's life. And you're like, I didn't sign up for this. What the fuck? Where did this wasn't written on the ticket? Like, even the back of the ticket didn't say nothing about this shit. What am I doing here? I wouldn't. There's no way. I was never drunk enough to say I want to go on that ride. No fucking way.
Well, I think that's the big point, is because we kind of realize that there's really no function to this, like you said before, so all this just is sort of a giant waste.
There was a penis and I
And I mean, I
missed
don't
it.
think people realize that.
Where was the penis? I missed the penis. Damn it. Alright, well, I just like to keep all the... I like to just keep track of all that stuff, keep it in the book and such. Oh, damn. Anyway. You know, my penis is
Yeah.
big.
From now on, you guys, you moderators, make sure Gary's allowed to look at the penis before you ban the guy. Okay?
Well, I just like to keep track of this stuff. That's all. I have to admit, I am a little curious. Okay, no homo shit. I'm just saying, penises are kind of interesting. I mean, compared to people, you know, fuck. I've seen penises do some fucking weird shit. You never know what a penis is gonna do. You know, they're kind of the life of the party sometimes. God damn, they'll do some silly shit. I heard that kangaroos have a prehensile penis. You know, like they can move it around. And you're saying kangaroos are pretty fucked up, right? They can't use their hands worth shit, right? Their hands are sucky. They can't do shit with their hands. But yeah, they can go pick up a fucking wine glass with their penis. I mean, does that make any sense? No. But apparently they need a, you know, the penis needs to do, because the female kangaroos have two vaginas. Yeah, that's kind of convenient, right? So they're four holders. Yeah. But man, fucked up. So, yeah, I learned that Warble's on a lot. He does a lot of that, you know, whatever, kangaroo sex research. Sits in the wood, the fucking pervert, watching all the fucking kangaroo sex. So. But it's fucked up, isn't it? I mean, look, I mean, you know, it's kind of a, you're saying, this is one of those things about the whole, like, nature shit and everything. I mean, obviously, kangaroos look a lot like tyrannosauruses, right? You're just saying, it's the same fucked up idea. Okay, yeah, they're really good at hopping. So I guess tyrannosauruses hopped, right? I mean, you always see them running, but they probably hopped, right? Because they got no fucking front legs. So they were probably big giant kangaroos. They were like hopping, big tyrannosauruses hopping after shit, you know? But you're just saying, look, I mean, nature did this design twice, and it did once as a predator and once as prey, which is really funny, right? But it's the same kind of fucked up design. I mean, what the fuck is this? What is this little... Oh, I have hands, but I can't do shit with them. They're just kind of joke hands for distracting people. Go that way! He went that way! But that's all they're good for. Can't even really hold a piece of bread with them, they're so fucking useless.
Well, I mean, dinosaurs are just giant turkeys. Like, apparently they
No,
had
they're
feathers.
apparently giant kangaroos. You're not with the program. They're not fucking turkeys, they're kangaroos. Man, they were hopping.
Just two big legs, and they hop.
Yes, Tyrannosauruses hopped after shit.
Someone needs to highlight some of this. And, like, post it on YouTube.
Yeah, well, somebody needs to do something brilliant and creative and earth-shattering and world-changing. So apparently I can't do any of that. Ah, you're promising again. Well, I remember last time you promised, you came up with that, like, whatever it was, that Gigantor. Yeah, Goliath. Yeah, that was, yeah. So you were pretty reliable that time. Yeah, well, old Penn is kind of funnily brilliant. But it's funny first, right? Yeah, that's it. It's funny first. No, I think it's a great idea. I think we all, you know, I'm figuring, like, once she makes her movie, then I'll just remake her movie, except better, right? And then somebody can remake my movie, except better. And if we just keep remaking each other's movie, we might actually get it right. Yeah, well, I got lots of songs. I can sing just some songs. Yeah, I can write a song about anything. Oh, that's right, you have heard them. Yeah, well, I have some better ones. I have better ones saved up. I do. I have some better ones. Yeah, I'll show you people someday. You just wait. Something to drink.
How long is that? Yeah, but it's probably some classical music piece, right? I'm just trying to figure out which one it is. Chopin.
Yeah, what kind of asshole calling me? Stupid fuck. It's
Hey,
annoying.
Gray, have you thought about making a full-length documentary at some point? Because I mean, if you did some like interviews and just did a little bit of narration or something, you could really piece together like a real, you have the skills to do it, obviously.
Yeah, well, we gotta come up with a, you gotta have a script is what you need. We need a script. We
Yeah, I think
need,
Gray has really good concepts, and he's able to blend the music along with the pictures and just like the general theme. I think he does a really good job at that. At synthesizing the different elements.
yeah, I think he does a good job, but I think it's still it's above the comprehension level, yeah, of the commoner audience. You still have to make it food for the asshole somehow. I mean, we actually have to convert the stupid. And, I'm not doing that. I gotta do that. So I gotta seduce them with something. I gotta figure out how to. I mean, you don't want to resort to like cute kitty. You figure you can probably be more sophisticated than that, but yeah, somehow you gotta get this, I don't know. Gotta come up with a plan. Huh. Cunt. Quit playing with the phone.
Gary, when people prank call you, do they even have the balls to speak up and talk to you, or do they just like hang up right away?
Yeah, it's about 50-50. I mean, some of them are kind of cool, they're just a little drunk and, they just want somebody to talk to, and so, yeah, it's okay. What the hell? So, no big deal. And they're, a little bit funny sometimes, so it's okay. But, yeah, it's the ones that don't give up, the ones that will just call and call, and then I have to turn the phone off, and just, it's like, that's so rude. I mean, what, are you going to force me to turn my phone off? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I saw a video that Piero did where it was the first video I saw where anyone actually took Anacontivad's name and actually looked up the meaning of it and did a whole analysis of not only Anacontivad but where it comes from and Jainism, the religion, and the whole thing about the parable about the elephants. Have you heard about that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, there's 2 versions, or 3 versions, or 10 versions of that. But this more extended version is, that you have these elders of the village or whatever, but these were all people of different skills, So one guy was a carpenter, one guy was this, one guy was that. So they come up to the elephant when they're blind, but they still have their skills of their profession, you know what I mean? So the shoemaker is feeling one thing, and the farmer was, you know what I'm saying? So they have a sense of a different thing based on their skill, in terms of what they can, the extra perception they might gain through that. And yeah, obviously they all still have limited perception. And yeah, so the same elephant looks different to each one of them because of their different way that they're perceiving it, based on, what instruments they're applying to testing the elephant, so to speak. And then you have the other version where, one guy's at the front of the elephant, and one guy's at the back of the elephant. And obviously it's a different animal from those 2 ends. Yeah, yeah. But whatever. I mean, it's still a pile of shit. I mean, we're not blind. We're
Right.
we're not ignorant. So
There's another parable about like a plate of lukewarm water, and like all the different monks try it, and they all give a different description of the temperature. But so I mean, I can understand if it's like lukewarm. Somebody might say it's kind of cool, another person might say it's kind of warm. But if you're talking about boiling water, they're all going to have the same opinion, right? I mean, if you pour boiling water on them, they're all going to have an extremely negative reaction to that. So I mean, if you go to the extremes, then we can all agree on certain things, I think.
yeah, well, I keep doing that. I mean, I keep trying to point that out myself. Just that my arguments are made on the extremes. That we know the extremes, and the extremes tell us there is something to be known. So that's all we need to know, right? I mean, the extremes tell us that the reality is there. Yeah, we can't do all the value math on the line or on the fence, but that's not where most of the fucking world lives. Most of the world lives somewhere else. So, the complex questions aren't the ones we need to deal with. The obvious ones are, um, fairness and consent. I can just go with those 2 words, right? I could just say those 2 words forever, and people aren't going to be able to explain how it's acceptable to play a game that doesn't include fairness or consent. I mean, without one of those 2 elements, you're fucked. I think Bonnie Girl's microphone is now working, except it's just making noises.
Sorry, I didn't know it was on.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I like girls that make a little bit of noise. Yes. Still on. Still on. Yes, it is. Still on. Yes, it is. It's still on. It's
That's
still
because
on.
I'm
Your
gonna say
microphone's still on.
something. I
Okay.
know.
Promise.
Because I'm gonna say something
Okay.
intelligent soon.
Okay. Okay. Waiting. She likes very
Soon, not
long
now.
foreplay. Oh, foreplay. Yeah, it's all this foreplay stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get to it. Yeah, yeah. No, I'll get to that part later. No, we're getting there later. Yeah, we'll get there later. Promises. Microphone's still on. Microphone's still on. Oh, cat. Meow. 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 Cat doesn't know how to speak cat. You know, rats. Yeah, I don't like rats much. I'll go get my drink. I'll be back. Probably. Mostly. Yeah, nice cup of soup. So where was I? Christmas. Oh, you got something for Christmas. Well, that's cool. What'd you get for Christmas? I didn't get this for Christmas, but I just got it because it was cheap. but it dances. It's a cat and it dances. I like it. Yeah, I do. I have to plug it into the other computer. I mean, I could plug it into this computer, but then it'll ruin the sound files, and so I said, fuck it, I'll just do without it tonight. But eventually I'll have him perform during whatever debate night sessions. It really is terribly cute. It's $15. $15. It's got a speaker, right? And it dances. I mean, $15. It's insane. $15. It's a cat. Meow. 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 Such. I like it. And it's a little bit fat. A little bit fat. Which makes it a little bit cute. So anyway. Meow. Oh. Anyway, like it. I like it. Cheers me. Yep. I lost cool points. Huh. Huh. Whatever. I don't care. Professional freaks like me do not want to have any cool points. Yeah, Ronnie girl has to work. Ew. Ew. Ooh. Probably has nothing to do with her going to school stuff, right? I can't remember what she went to school for, but I don't think it was useless. It's like totally useless stuff, I think. Yeah. Well, managing a bookstore isn't bad, but there's no one to manage at a bookstore, right? That just means that you're the only employee and you have to do everything. It doesn't have to, yeah, I'm the manager. But I also have to dust and sweep and yeah. You probably have to shovel the sidewalk. And what else do you have to do? Bastard. I need to move. So I do hate winter. I hate winters. I hate it. I hate winter. Ugh. But California is full of people. Can't really move there. Too many people there already. I need my space. North Bay. Hmm. That means you're uphill, right? Yeah. North is uphill. Yeah, my video cam isn't connecting to... Oh, it isn't. Strange. Guess you're doing it wrong. Yeah, that's it. You're doing it wrong. Wow, feedy. I wonder what a feedy is. I wonder if it's like a feta. Feedy. Mic is open, I think. Yep, that's what it was. Okay. He just shows up in rooms and goes, feedy. And he leaves. Pretty cool. Excellent. Yeah, well, bookstores are good if you like, they got like art books maybe, right? Got art books and what other kind of books at a bookstore? Yeah, it does seem like they all should have gone out of business a long time ago. This is like, I'm gonna buy a book. Oh, fuck that. I would never think to go to like a bookstore and actually buy a book. That is so not me. But I've like inherited preposterous books. I have two. Like there's a little bit water damaged, but one of them is Da Vinci, and the other one is some other guy. But they're like 5 inches thick. They're like 2 foot by huge books, and full of painting pictures and stuff. They gotta be worth some money. But they must weigh 30 pounds each. It's a fucking book, and it weighs 30 pounds. I have some other book or something. Oh. Somebody sent me these huge books once too. Yeah, that was crazy. People do crazy stuff sometimes. Must have cost $50 just to send me books. Which is very nice, but it's just crazy. Yeah, you can freeze my brain. Stab it first, though. I'd make sure it was dead. Yeah, we just like to freeze my brain for what? Yeah, so they can wake me up when things are really fucked up. Say, hey Gary, what do we do? Kill yourself, fuckheads. Yeah, that was the right answer after all. Yeah, kill yourselves, assholes. Oh, anyway. Yeah, they could just wake me up every 100 years just to go consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, addiction. Yeah, okay. Freeze me again.
Well, also, who would want to be frozen when they're like 80 years old? Because if they ever reanimate you, you're just going to be an old, you're going to be too old to do anything.
I know, but the plan is they have the make you young pill by then, right? So they wake you up when they can, make you, $6 million man you or whatever, cyborganize you.
Ah, okay.
So
So they
everything will
wake
be,
you up, they unfreeze you, they thaw you out, and then they make you younger, right?
yeah.
Or whatever. They fuse you with a robot or something.
Yeah, or maybe they just feed you a bunch of fetal carrots or something, you know. Little fetuses of all the vegetables, little vegetable fetuses or something. And it makes you young again.
I know, like Ted Williams, he got frozen because he I guess he hoped that he could come back and play baseball one day, but they supposedly they decapitated him against his family's wishes, so his head and his body are frozen separately.
Yeah, well, I guess, you know, it's kind of expensive to do it right, so I figure maybe you do it the best way for the head, and the body you just say, well, it doesn't really matter as much, so don't do that the expensive way. I mean, it sort of makes sense, I mean, right? I mean, theoretically, you figure eventually they're going to have the technology to sew your head on anything. You know, they'll be sewing your head like, oh, your body's gone, so yeah, we're going to sew your head to an elephant's ass, and, you know, temporarily, you know, just temporarily.
Or not even your head, just the brain. We'll put your brain inside another head.
Well, I'm just saying brains is a little more complicated. I'm just saying the head, you know, cut off at the neck. The only thing you got to worry about is the spinal cord, and the rest of it's just arteries, right? It's no big deal. So I'm just saying it's pretty simple to think, well, yeah, you could just, you know, if they can sew a penis back on, they can sew your fucking head back on, right? What's the big deal? Pierce Bronson gets his head chopped off? I don't know what that means. Oh, whatever. I didn't know he was dead. So anyway, oh, dog's back. Yay. Probably got a stupid name though. Probably called him Fluffy or something. Oh, fuck you. That's not a very name for a dog. Ah, yeah. Dog in boots. Spot. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Spot. Spots. Many spots. Very spotty. Yeah, that's his name. Very spotty. Oh, yeah. Mulder. Mulder? Mulder. 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 It's probably some TV star or something. It's named after a TV show.
Were you an X-Files fan, Gary? That was because you used to watch TV back then,
I saw
right?
one episode and I said, holy shit, this is boring. I'm going to bed. Yeah, it was horrible. It was just horrible. You're like, oh, you people shut up. Is there a story here or what are you doing? Music is always playing. What is this? This isn't just TV, proper TV show. Yeah, I just couldn't get it. But it's like that with some show. You just don't get it the first round. I mean, the show I actually ended up liking when I saw it the second time was Quantum Leap. You know, when I saw it for the first time, I said, oh, this is a stupid show. I hate this guy. But when I watched a few of them later, I said, hey, this is watchable. Wow, I think for redheads. Oh, okay, I remember that. Yeah, redheads make her think. Red hair is cool, though, you know. If you do it right, it is good. I had a friend when I was a kid who was a redhead, you know, guy, and you know, he was really like a Viking or something. He was just hard as nails. You could just you couldn't kill him. He was just, you know, he'd take 17,000 tons of drugs in one night, and he's, yeah, nothing. I mean, he was just indestructible. You know, I had such admiration. He was just made out of nails. Yeah, and so he got into rock climbing, which was kind of funny. So he fell off a mountain, and it really fucked him up. You know, he kind of got all retarded. But he was all impressed by the nurses at the hospital, like they took care of him and everything. So he ended up becoming a nurse, which is hilarious, right? Because he was like this hard as nails guy, and he turned out to be like some kind of gay guy. You know, so it was all kind of funny because he was, you know, he turned out to be like a gay nurse, and it's like nobody, like if you surveyed every person in the town, everybody, you know, nobody would have predicted, oh yeah, gay nurse. No, no one would have ever predicted this guy was going to turn into that. So it's kind of funny. But it makes sense in hindsight, just because, yeah, he never went out with girls or anything. But, you know, we all didn't because we're all losers. So we all, like, could pretend it was not on purpose. So, yeah, if you were gay, you could just hide out with us because, yeah, we all, you know, looked like we were losers by accident. Anyway, where was I? You know, I didn't say that right, but, you know, we were losers. So somebody who wasn't a loser could hang out with us, and they could pretend to be a loser when they weren't. That doesn't make sense. I think you knew what I was saying. I think you got it. I don't need to explain it.
It's like
You
you were a loser, but you didn't deserve to be.
Well, that's what we told everybody. Seems like that should have been the story, right? I mean, we were really cool. Don't get me wrong. We were really cool, but yeah, we were all losers. As stupid as that sounds, right? I mean, we were really cool, but yeah, we were losers. So I don't know how it works out that way, but it turns out that way somehow. We were really top-notch quality people. But, yeah, we were losers. Maybe it's just that nobody besides us knew how cool we were, or something like that. Anyway, where was I? Wow, it's getting crowded in here. I wonder if anybody's got anything clever to say. Doesn't look like too many clever people. No, they all look kind of worried or angsty or retarded. Mostly retarded. Yeah, mostly. That is true. You are clever. You are. I can tell. You wear glasses and stuff, right? I've seen you wear glasses. So you have like that, oh, I'm pretty smart. I'm wearing glasses. I'm pretty smart. Smart, smart, smart. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I am. I really, you know, you sit there and you say, holy shit, have I been alive this whole time? Damn, you know, whoa, what have I been doing? It's like sometimes I just wonder how, what? I mean, I was supposed to be doing this living thing? Oh, damn it, I totally forgot. Oh, shit. Yeah, I do wonder what the fuck I did with my life. 'Cause I totally don't know where I did with it. I can't find it anywhere. It's like, what? Where am I going? I have a car? Do I somewhere to go? I don't know where I am. I just know I don't want to be here. Ah, dogs are eating things. Cool. Or is it the cat? Oh no, it's the dog. Okay. Smelly dog, smelly dog.
I love
Smelly dog song. Smelly dog. Hey, look, it's a retarded guy. Yay!
What do you mean when a cow has 3 nipples?
Dirty, 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 dirty. What the hell did he say? I couldn't tell what he said. What did he say?
What do you mean when a cow has 3 nipples?
What do I mean when I counted 3 nipples? What are you counting 3 nipples for? That's confusing.
Just kidding. I'm just messing around.
Well, I hope so. I don't even think anything has 3 nipples. Maybe somebody could do a Google search and see if there's anything that has 3 nipples. I don't think anything does. Except for like that James Bondy character. There was some like golden gun guy or something had 3 nipples or something. But I think it was a fake third nipple. I don't think it was real.
I was watching your video the other day. Pretty funny. Yeah. Oh, I got frozen again. Yeah, I was watching your video.
We were talking about freezing stuff before. I don't think we were thinking about freezing a retard though. Yeah, let's freeze the. Whoops, we made a mistake. We froze a retard. Let's wake him up 300 years later and goof on him. Yeah. How many fingers am I holding up? Yeah. How many fingers am I holding up, retard guy? Yeah, we can do that. Like, it would be a funny joke. So anyway, let's get back to being a serious human. Ow. I've had my dinner. You know, like Arduino guy, he doesn't play anything on the guitar. He just sits there like, I'm holding my guitar because it's my guitar. And it makes me look like I'm sensitive. Yeah, it makes me look like I'm sensitive and clever and interesting. Yeah.
Who's that girl in your video?
What you want? You're throwing your video.
Yeah, the girl, the one she's brushing her hair.
Yeah.
That girl, the one you put in your video, though. Your YouTube video.
Where's the video? What are you talking about? It's confusing me again.
Your YouTube video.
YouTube videos. Yeah, I know YouTube. Yeah, YouTube videos. I'll make YouTube videos. Well, I usually wear a hat when I'm making videos.
The girl, the one is brushing her hair. And she's talking about you.
Yeah, brushing her hair, talking about me. Where's that be? Where are they be doing that?
It's like, I don't know, just coming out randomly. I don't know, you're dancing. And then the girl is just, I don't know, hey, was talking about hair. And she was just brushing her hair. Then, yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. It's too bad it's not one of my videos, but okie dokie. So anyway, time for Ed Jr. to take a nappy, I think. Yeah, you need a nap, I think. Yep. Oh, a collab video, that would be good. But he'd have to be able to read the script, though. I don't think Ed can read either, though, so that won't work. But maybe they could do like a crayon drawing.
Hey, Adrian's here. Oh, God, he's like a younger Gary.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's my uncle. My uncle.
Yeah, your better uncle. Yeah, Mr. Better and such uncle.
Yeah, but he lives in California. I live in Florida.
Well, that's the difference right there.
Yeah. Like, the opposite. Like, there's a lot of beaches. Oh, what the,
Yeah,
what,
sure, Florida does have beaches. You gotta admit that. But it has also a lot of red tide and dead manatees and all kinds of shit like that too. Yep. Swimming with the dead manatees. Fun, fun, fun.
a dolphin.
I
I go snap a dolphin.
think he sniffs glue myself. Glue is better than freaking cream cans.
I'm just so excited.
Florida really ain't that bad except for the flat part and the bugs and the oppressive heat, and the stink, and what else sucks in Florida? Oh, the people, the old people. Yeah, snakes. Got them little coral snakes and shit.
Uh,
Yeah, someday I'll have a convention. Somebody will come to my freezer. Yeah, go visit the Gary, frozen Gary. Yay.
yo, Gary. Gary. No. What's your name? I don't know your name. I can't. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know your name.
Offer. So if I go to California, I can crash in your living room. There's all got dog stink all over it. You have a basement? I like basements.
Okay.
Okay, well that's good enough. Garage, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that. California garage is pretty good. Alright, you're in business. Yeah, cars. I like cars, actually. Cars are quiet. You know, that's the nice thing about cars. You sleep in a car. It's quiet inside of a car. It's nice.
Yo, Gary, what you did for Christmas?
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, I had, I had a kind of a nice car. I had a Grand Prix, but anyway, I pulled the passenger seat out of the car just for that reason, just so I could put a little mattress down. I could sleep in the car. So it was kind of nice. But it was kind of nice driving because you had all this extra space, without the passenger seat. So it was kind of cool. And if you ever, if somebody had to, anybody had to sit in the car, there was plenty of room in the back seat now. You know what I mean? Because you could stretch your legs out and stuff, so the back seat was really quite comfortable. So it worked out pretty good.
Who has Showtime here? Showtime.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't really do Christmas, to tell you the truth, so I think I have a
You got drunk
Moro.
Christmas.
Moro stocking. Yeah, he got stuff. I didn't get anything. Little York peppermint patties. Yay! So that's what I got for Christmas. 2 of them. Ooh. 3. Yeah, 3. I really am the man who has everything. I really do have too much junk, unfortunately, so I wasn't allowed to have anything for Christmas because I have way too much shit in this house.
Hey Gary,
Won't
where's
crap
your
out.
wife? Where's your wife?
Somebody did send me a game controller, which was very nice. Somebody, I think, in Chicago, so that's sort of like where Elfan is, but I don't think she would send me something stupid like that. But, you know, it was very nice of somebody. But, like, I really am I had my Tomb Raider DVDs in my hand, and I almost said I was going to load it on the computer. I said, don't do it, Gary. Don't do it. So I didn't do it. I'm tempted. The old man did send me she sent me some cigarettes on my birthday. Cigarettes and potato chips. It's really quite nice.
I prefer beer
Alright,
or wine.
Adrenal guy, or whatever your name is. Apocalypse, whatever. And such, yeah. Warden. Who's the warden, I wonder? Yeah, I guess you're what, your neighbor's internet or something? You're stealing it? You crook. Oh, university.
Any girls lately?
I wonder what he's
Any
studying.
girls?
Probably something quite useless.
Hey
He
Gary.
goes to college and studies really useless shit. I don't think I've ever met anybody who was in college and actually doing something like useful.
So Gary. Hey Gary.
Well, I just mean like engineering or architecture or law or, you know, all these really, you know, stuff that has some sort of use in the world. Yeah, well, you know, chemistry and, yeah, electrical. Electrical's good stuff. I like electricity. Yeah, but something useful. Next best thing is education, so I'm going to be a professor. Yeah, professor of what, though? Book design? Yeah. No. Yeah. That'd be something.
Yo Gary. Where's your wife?
Pet grooming. Pet naming. Yeah, that's even better. Ah, Doom. Yes, that would be a good subject.
I'm not sure if anyone can hear me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I know, but you know, as be a professor of philosophy, you apparently have to say mumbo jumbo a lot. They're gonna go mumbo jumbo, mish mush, wishy washy, bibbly babbly boo. You have to do that all day.
I have a question. What's your wife?
And you have to test people on it. Ooh, horrible. Oh, Mr. Roboto guy. Annoying. Argue with him about stuff. Oh, yeah, well, I think you ought to sing folk songs. That's what I think. I think you can. Yeah. You could do a whole album of skanky horror songs. Yeah, that'd be cool. I got the shopping cart blues. You know, the kind of stuff. You could do like blues, and then you could do, you know, well, I think you could do stuff.
I prefer beer or wine.
Yeah, whatever this taking up the ass thing. I don't know. Whatever. Wow, yeah, that's really big news. Okay, he's a tranny now. Yeah, whatever. I think he was a tranny before, he just wasn't wearing blouses. You know, so you know, it's not that big a difference, really. Whatever. You know, with Jesus wasn't too much of a winner during his lifetime, you know. It's kind of like fail all over the place. Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, that was a whole weird episode. Yeah, I don't even want to go back there. But whatever.
So what was Jesus' original mission when he came down? Was he supposed to get crucified all along? Was that part of the grand plan, or was that just, or was he supposed to stick around for a while?
Oh, gee, you're getting free advice. I prefer. Well, who cares? That would be my answer. She should respond to you with a, who the fuck cares what you would prefer? Who the fuck are you, asshole? Are you somebody I should care what you prefer? Huh? 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 Yeah, he didn't. He just totally failed, right? I mean, shit, he didn't even get Eve's sins forgiven, right? The first sin, he couldn't even get that one undone. So, yeah, total failure. I think he was supposed to bring the second coming or something, right? It was supposed to be like the first coming or the final coming or the recoming of the coming of the coming. But yeah, he just didn't bring any of that along at all. So nothing changed. Everything was supposed to change and nothing changed. Well, none of them happened yet, right? Because that's the catch. They just keep saying, well, when they were saying 5 years, that meant 7 million years. Yeah, because their years were like 468 days longer or something. So the whole thing is just such a crock of shit. I mean, it just always reminds me of like a stupid fucking 900-year-old Moses. Oh, sure, he lived to be 900. Sure he did.
You miss being younger?
Yeah, Jesus didn't even get that right, right? His name was wrong. So yeah, they didn't even get his name right. So.
Actually, I have a long time to go.
Oh, okay, alright. Well, I guess that's okay then. I sort of.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you approve, Gary.
Well, I'm just, you know, keep going to school is better than going to real work, is all I'm saying. I'm just suggesting that if, you know, if I had my choice of going to school or having to get a real job, well, I'd go to school.
Thank you. I do have a real job, but I use my real job to fund my PhD.
Well, that's you know, if you can do that, that's even better. I just never had like a real job that actually paid real money, so I never.
My job does not. I don't think my job pays real money. It pays enough money to get me, semester to semester at the moment.
All right.
But if I'm going to work anywhere to save money, I'd like to be at a bookstore, so I think that things are pretty good right now.
Yeah, it beats. You know, I had all kind of crappy jobs, so bookstore sounds pretty good. Especially if there's not too many customers, I'd like it even better. Then you can just sit around and
It's
read all.
great, yeah. Totally. People, yeah, no one shops at my store. I'm the manager, and I just kind of, I'm like, okay, you dust this, you sweep that. If someone comes in and asks for this book, it's on my staff recs.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I always had. Yeah. Well, I was always doing the sweeping of the part. So anyway, okay. Well, you know.
But yeah, I'm trying to transfer to Berkeley within the next year. And then I don't know where I'll go for grad school, but my only plan is to be in school for the rest of my life because that's the only thing that I really care to put any effort into.
Yeah. Well, Berkeley is a little bit wacky, but I mean, it's got definitely got a good name. So, but yeah, you know,
It's wacky, yeah. Yeah. It's wacky, but it's close, and I could go there without having to move there. Because the
Yeah.
commute would only be like. Sorry, go on.
Well, I just wonder if you were going for a doctorate, though, that they'd probably have a really limited doctorate. You know what I mean? That like you'd have to really be lucky to get into that, right?
Well, yeah, and for Berkeley, I would only go for my master's, and then after that, I would transfer somewhere else for my doctorate.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how all that shit works, but
It's a fucking shit show.
yeah. I just remember Matt was pretty smart, and he ended up going to like some kind of silly school of silliness, to get his doctorate. So, you have to go to like some kind of
Who?
shit school to get a doctorate.
Who is Matt? Who's
Well,
Matt?
yeah, it's that thou art that guy. I don't know where you saw any of his videos.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, I know that name.
His
Yeah,
thesis
he used to be
was
like
on
really intelligent,
psychedelics.
sensible, and then he just, he fell on to the whatever the golden unicorn, and it's just lost forever, I guess.
Did you say his thesis was in psychedelics?
Well, I mean, it might as well
Yeah, it
be.
was like this mix between psychedelics and philosophy, all that phantasmagorical shit.
What's all that Gaia, drugs, whatever, touching the universe touches,
Oh,
good touch, bad touch, all that bullshit.
I don't have time for that.
It's just, I'm just saying, he's like, he was really he's the kind of person that could have been somebody, and he just turned into a, you know,
Yeah.
whatever you call those people.
It's too bad, really.
Sort of like a
But yeah,
Professor
I don't know.
Antony.
Oh, God.
It is weird. There's a lot of, smart people that all go bad. I guess they just get, yeah, Whitehead, that's the guy. Yeah, that's just that, incomprehensible mush.
I think they just get really scared of facing the truth and just bury themselves in all this bullshit.
Well, yeah, and they all think that a lie is better. Like go ahead and sell the lie, and because people can ride the lie, and it'll make them better people because they'll believe in the lie. And it's like, why do that? It's like this fake spiritualism. That I watched that Dawkins interview or whatever conversation with that guru guy, and the guru guy just basically admitted that he's just using the word spirituality because it makes it sound all good and
Was
meaningful.
it was it Deepak Chopra?
Well, it was one of those guys. It wasn't Deepak Chopra, but it was right. It was one of them, some Indian guy. You know, whatever his name
I'm
was.
gonna say, fuck that guy.
Yeah, but it was the same kind of line of reasoning of
Yeah,
just, you know, very Gaia, very like the rocks have spirit and the trees have spirit. And what he meant by spirit was really that they have a context, you know, they have a meaning, a heritage, a history. And yeah, everything has a history, big deal. I mean, that doesn't mean it's, you know, call that spirit is silly. You know, just because we're the only ones that can cognate, understand that, doesn't make it, you know, mean something. And so,
special. Right.
yeah, it certainly didn't mean anything when human beings were, you know, even just a couple 100,000 years ago when we were just taking a shit on a rock. We weren't having a spiritual encounter with the rock when we were, you know, taking a shit on it. So I mean, what's, you know,
Right.
it's a bunch of mush. But like I said, he basically admitted that, you know, he's just using the word because well, he didn't say that, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you could just see that he was just using the word because the word means something to people, you know, and then
Well,
so
yeah.
that'll make them better people because they'll have a bigger and broader and more expansive relationship with the world, and then they won't pollute the world and they won't be mean to the world because they'll have all
Right.
this spiritual crap. But it's a lie. So why don't you just say honestly, well, don't be an asshole, don't be a selfish asshole. Why don't you just honestly say, don't pollute your drinking water? Wow, is that too complicated?
Well, if you're like someone like Deepak Chopra, then you need to spend 5 books talking about why you shouldn't pollute the water because of all these different reasons. It's all just like, I don't know, it's all so commercial and it's all so like, I don't know, respecting the environment isn't about respecting the environment. It's about respecting the environment so that you fit into a certain category of person. I
Well, it's
don't know.
just respecting
It's
not
shit.
making a mess,
It's
which isn't
shit.
complicated. You know, yeah, don't make a mess. Wow, that has to be a spiritual concept. You know, it doesn't have to be a
Right.
spiritual concept. You can understand messes and how not to make one. So what the
Right.
fuck? It's not complicated. You know, I don't.
But they just like the way that these books are written, you have to like have a reason for not polluting the environment. You have to have a reason for not being a shit person so that
Yeah,
you can fit into this category of not of being a non-shit person.
right, and the reason has to be some sort of lie, like you're communing with the universe, or you're singularing, or
Right.
you're doing your karma thing, or some other kind of crap.
Right. You are a spiritual person. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
it can't be the simple truth that you're just doing the minimums that any reasonable, logical, sensible, rational person should be able to figure out. I mean, these are just minimums. This is, you know, these are just the minimums of
Right.
reasonableness, not to know that you don't, you know, if you have a choice not to run the rabbit over, you don't run the rabbit over. Wow. It took a lot of brains to figure that out.
Right. But it becomes like you don't run the rabbit over because you have had this spiritual experience that tells you to not run the rabbit over. And now you're that much better of a person. And now in 10 years you can write a book about how you didn't run the rabbit over. And you can profit from that book and make it into a movie.
Yeah, well, that's all part of it too, is that everything has to be done for some sort of positive reason. You know, people can't do something merely
Right.
because, you know, and that's not the way responsibility works. Responsibility is always going to be a pain in the ass, and they want to turn it into some sort of positive
Right.
act when it's not a positive act. You have to do hard work sometimes for benefit. If the future is going to be a better place,
Yeah.
we have to sacrifice something. That's the way it works. You know, there's no other way to do it.
Do you think that there's really a possibility that the future will ever, like, that there will ever be a better place? I'm just
No.
curious. I don't know. You've probably addressed this before, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that can better is just recognizing what we are, so we find a more efficient way to give us our heroin. You know what I mean? We're all just addicts for, you
Right.
know, and so all we can do is mold ourselves into being more efficient addicts. But yeah, there's no other, beyond that, there's nothing else to go. There's no place to go. But I just mean the idea
Yeah.
that we could do things so much better, if we would fix things or do it right. If you do it right once, you don't got to do it over and over again, right? So it's that kind of thing. So you invest in durable technology, you invest in durable, sustainable farming methods or housing, or, look how we do everything. We do everything this inefficient way, you know, totally
Right.
unsustainable construction in terms of the way cities are run and then suburbs and the waste of fuel and, it's all stupid because nobody wants to pay the freight to do it right.
Yeah.
Everything on the cheap.
It's fucked, man. Like, what do we do with this? It feels so hopeless every day. Like, I don't know how to relate to people that I know. I don't know how to go about my day-to-day life, like,
Yeah.
That's why you come here.
understanding these truths. That's why I come here, but it's once a week, right? Like,
Yeah,
What
it's
you
not
do,
exactly
what
an
you
up.
do is you pray about it. You gotta pray about it. You gotta do all these things. That's what you do. You pray about these.
Yeah, you're a brilliant example of what.
oh no, not him. Oh fuck.
He's such.
How the fuck did he sneak in?
Yeah, well, it's Australian power or something. They don't have any, can't do anything else but be trolls, so they know how to be trolls.
Fucking Australia. God
Yeah,
damn it.
that's how I'm looking at it. Let's blame Australia first. Get our way up.
Anyway, I don't remember what I was just saying, but just the hopelessness of it all. I don't know. Like, how do you make it through each day?
Hey Gary, why don't you tell them how much you fucking hate this country?
Whatever. I hate the country a lot. There, that's how much I hate it. Very much. Very much a lot.
There's not a country that I don't hate, really.
Yes.
There's not a person that I don't hate a little bit. Fuck.
Well, he's an African Australian, but he hates Africans, so it's kind of funny. He's one of those black guys that hates black guys, calls them niggers and stuff.
He's like Uncle Ruckus
Yeah, he's just silly.
from the Boondocks.
I don't know, he's manic depressive, so
Yeah,
can't hold out against him.
There's a lot of things. I think he's a lot more than manic depressive. He's stinky and impotent. And
It's funny how he just advertises that.
evil and nasty. And
I have a mental disorder. I'll put that as my name.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm kind of talking too much, so if anyone else is trying to say something, I'm talking over you. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't think so. Somebody else's mic's open again now. Hazy guy. But whatever. Yeah, no, it's just this day-to-day thing. You just find some way to survive. But it is so disappointing because you just know it's just going to keep happening over and over and over again. A certain percentage of people are just going to keep arriving at the conclusion that they're just, oh, I see, I'm just fodder for this grindy thing. Yeah. Oh, okay. I go in this end and I come out that end all smashed and chewed up. Oh, cool. Yeah.
It's fucked. Like, I don't know, like, I was hospitalized in June because I tried to kill myself. And since then, I've been, like, forced into therapy and forced into taking this medication. And I just don't, I don't know, like, I just don't understand how people can make it through every day and feel okay with, like, I don't know, being alive and feeling okay with other people being alive and just, I don't know how everyone just doesn't think the way that I think.
Yeah, there's some
Well,
of
I
it
mean, I
anyway.
see that when I go to malls. It's like, oh
Just a
man,
little bit.
how do these people think?
I just
Like, I
would
mean, how do
expect.
they get through their day? Why are they so happy?
over me, which is annoying me.
I can't hear either one of you.
I know, that's because he keeps talking when I'm talking, and then I shut up, and then he talks some more. But anyway, I was going to say something like, something interesting. Yeah, let's see, what was it? Yeah, I know it's something relevant. Something relevant and interesting. Oh, humility. Yeah, it's just the fact that they don't have any humility. You know, not any. You know, it's like, I'm not saying people have to be depressed or morbid or really, really, really concerned, but they're just so arrogant and thinking, oh yeah, you're crazy because you think this game is a little bit dangerous and sloppy, and you find life worrisome and frightening and horrifying, and it's like, you know, they can't see how that's possible. You know, they look at the world and they can't see how that's even possible. I mean, come on. I mean, look at the way people are living. I mean, why would
Well,
you?
I mean, and that's why I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I don't know how people. I just don't understand how people live with themselves, and I don't understand how people can, I don't know, just ignore all of the bigger picture facts and just be okay with that and just accept, like, yeah, life sucks, but that's just the way it is. And I'm okay with that. And I don't know, people just the justification of everything. I've just never been able to grasp onto that concept, and I just don't. I don't know. Like, I almost admire the people that are able to do that because I've just never been able to. But it's also, I don't know. It's fucking exhausting. It's just exhausting.
Yeah, I just don't know how they take it so, like I said, I mean, it's just
Did
so,
he
I
freeze
guess
for anyone
part of
else?
the argument,
Okay.
yeah, it's frozen. Yeah, it happens. Um, I was frozen? Yeah, see, it's two people. You suggested it, and now they're imposing it. Um, it was a total freeze, a total brain freeze. Even brain freezes. I remember I had one of those profound moments. I remember when I was a kid, I had a really bad brain freeze from eating like whatever, some sort of frozen thing. And it was like, yeah, it was like one of those moments where you're just like, well, this isn't worth it. What am I doing being alive if I can't even eat something cold without my brain hurting? I mean, it was like I had a real moment of intolerance. Like, even this is not acceptable. What, I can't eat something that's too cold because my brain will freeze? I mean, this is stupid. But that was back when I was even more of a perfectionist. But I think that's part of it. It's just people are just so comfortable with the circumstance, and I don't know where that comes from. But don't they know? I mean, can't they figure out what they're in for? I mean, haven't they seen what's happened to some people? I mean, they get brain tumors and shit, and horrible crap happens to them. Do they really want to face that? Do they really want to just, oh yeah, no problem. You know, when that happens, I'm just gonna slide right through it, no problem. I mean, fuck.
Right. What did this
I mean,
person
even something
say?
like,
I read once, we are on this planet that billions of people lived on since the early days, and we're all part of the same kind, so we might as well live out our lives as long as we can, like every other human. But fucking that, I don't know, that doesn't answer anything. Like, why should we live anytime? I mean, as long as we're living, we're taking something from some other living being. Like, our existence is imposing suffering on other people's existences. Like, why is that an okay thing? Like, I don't, that's not a justification for staying alive. I don't know what you're trying to argue there.
well, I know you're setting up for what? You're setting up for what, right? You could have a heart attack, a stroke. You know, anything can happen to you right now. Something can, it's horrible, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. They'll get you into a hospital, they'll shove tubes into you, and you're fucked. And there's nothing you can do. You're going to be, you know, so why set yourself up for that? But it's not even so much about the, again, the real subject is yeah, okay, we're stuck here, we're here. It's really killing yourself is kind of nasty and unpleasant. So yeah, you march through, you take your little paddle out and you row your little boat the best you can. But yeah, you don't sit there and why would you not say something and stop people from forcing some new kid into the boat? I mean, who wants to keep sailing these rickety
Right.
little shitty boats? I mean, who wants to paddle in these fucking boats forever? I mean, I feel like I've been here for 50,000 years. I mean, I feel it. You know what I mean? I feel like I've died of typhus and yellow fever, and I've gone across the prairie in a smelly wagon, and you know what I mean. I just feel this sense of all this drudgery for centuries of human beings just living out these mediocre, stupid, idiotic lives where, oh yeah, we're almost to California, and the truck blows up, or whatever. The donkey dies and they all starve to death. I mean, it's just,
You all get cholera, right?
yeah, you're stuck in the mountains. You have to start eating each other, right?
Right.
I mean, who the fuck wants to do this over and over again?
No,
I
like
mean,
I
to
feel
me, it's
that,
even
and I'm
more.
like half your age. Like how the fuck? Sorry, I interrupted someone. Go on, bro, with the mic.
Well, I mean, to me, it's even more incomprehensible with Christians doing it. I mean, it's like if I knew that my kid had a chance to go to hell and burn in fire forever, I definitely wouldn't be having a kid.
Yeah, well, we know
And
that.
so I grew up. Sorry. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, I don't think the Christians really think about it. I don't think they really believe in God, and they don't really believe in hell. So obviously, I don't think they think their kid's going to hell. So that's the real lie of it, right? I mean, hell is just something you curse other people with. It's not something you would think your family's going to.
I grew up in a I grew up in Wyoming, and I grew up in a really religious Mormon household. And part of the Mormon religion says that like the reason you're supposed to have so many kids is because every time you have a child, you're releasing a soul, from in the void onto earth. And like that's your ultimate goal in life, is to release all of these souls onto earth and give them the chance at life. And so, at least in Mormonism, and I feel like it probably expands to more than just that religion or that subsect, like having a kid is part of your religious experience, and like there's no greater purpose than to give those souls a chance at having life.
Yeah, but we know
I
that's
wish
not
my
what
parents
they're
left
doing,
me in the
right?
void.
They're basically saying, yeah, but then they put a bed on top of the cross or something, and they have the virgin, whatever it is, the rec room or something where you wreck the virgins. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I mean, they basically turned it into I mean, their actions don't measure up to their words.
No, absolutely not, but that's just their justification for why it's okay for them to be living in poverty but still have fucking 8 children, like I don't know. It's fucked. It's all so fucked.
Sorry, there's horrendous lag on my part, so I don't know when I'm interrupting someone. Very sorry for that.
You're not interrupting anyone right now. No one's talking.
No, I know, but before.
Why is wanting to die so unacceptable? I think that the resistance to accept that people want to die lies more in the fact that people don't, I don't know, it's more about the survivors than it is the person that's wanting to die. Like, the reason it's bad to want to die is because when you die or make the choice to die, then you're imposing that kind of suffering onto other people, and you are, allowing your death to affect your family members in negative ways or anything that's where the stigma comes from. It's because whether or not your suffering is greater than the suffering that would be caused by your death, the fact that you're making that choice to cause that suffering.
Yeah, well, it's such a stupid thing, though. It's all this
Negative.
context. People have this stupid perception. It's all about how you die, right? You die in a train wreck, it's okay. A drunk driver kills you, it's certain tragedy.
Right.
You die because you get drunk and you drive into a tree. I mean, and people have some sort of, somehow
Right.
it means something different to these people depending on how you die. And so it's such a joke that if, I get a stroke and I die, it's okay. But if I kill myself, that's wrong. It's like, what are you talking about? It's the same thing. So it's okay with you if nature kills me, right? But it's not okay if I choose just to get the fuck out because I'm not having a good time. You'd rather I just hang around and suffer. I mean, that makes no sense.
Because your suffering is less valuable than the suffering of the people you would leave behind. It doesn't make any sense at all, and I don't understand how that has become the thing, how that has become the norm. Like, it just,
Well,
I'm just baffled by it. I don't.
selfish. I mean, how
I think it's a
somebody
cultural thing.
think somebody else should live for them? I mean, I can't even imagine having the perception I would have the right to tell somebody, or even imply it, like they should do it. It's almost like saying you should go to work and support me. You know what I mean? It's like, why should somebody else live because
Right.
I need them to? I mean, that's just so bogus. Why should I be telling somebody else you should live because I need you? I mean, that is such a crock of shit.
Right.
I mean, my mom told me I can't die before she dies because it would greatly upset her. Which I just find completely arrogant in a way. But I
It's
love my
part of the
mom very
gamble
much,
of
so.
having a child. Like, it's just part of the fucking gamble. Like, if you're gonna have a child, there's a possibility that they're going to die. It's just, there's this case going on right now in Oakland. So I live in the Bay Area, and it's pretty local, and I'm hearing about it all the time. There was a young girl, like maybe 13 or 14, and she went in for to get her tonsils removed, and something happened where something got fucked up, and now she's like legally dead. She has suffered brain death, and there's no chance, like, she's beyond the vegetative state. She's just absolutely brain dead. And a judge just recently ruled that they should keep her alive on ventilation and on life support for until Monday at least. And the family has just been fighting it and trying to keep her alive because they just still think that she's going to be, that she's going to wake up.
Yeah.
And it's baffling to me that our legal system can have some kind of say in that, and that you can be legally brain dead, you can be dead, but you still, like, the only reason that you're being kept alive in some respect is for the benefit of the rest of your family. Like, I don't know.
Or for the money of the institution that's keeping them alive. I mean, in New Jersey,
Right.
we had a famous Karen Ann Quinlan case, and it took 10 years to get her taken off the respirator. 10 years!
Yeah, they keep comparing it to the Terry Schiavo case where her brain was still functioning, but she was in a vegetative state, but they're comparing it between that, and she is, like, actually brain dead. Like, there's no coming back from brain death. And the parents are still, like, fighting to keep her alive, and there's all these rallies going on and all of these protests and all of the support for that family, like, yeah, keep her alive as long as possible, but she's already been dead for fucking days now. And all of this money and all of these resources are going into keeping her on life support for the benefit of the family, thinking that there's thinking that there's a chance that she's going to come back.
All this cartoon
It's
Disneyland,
just,
bullshit that nobody wants to just deal with what life really is and the scale of the horror that we're part of. I mean, 4 billion years, 500 million years of sentient organisms ripping their skins off of each other, and these people are worried about something, a fucking human vegetable, and you're just like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
Well, what's the issue?
Well, there's two elements in play with the family. One is they're very religious, and the second is that the medical science has already failed them, and they no longer trust it.
Well, I know, but you can say that medical has already failed them, but come on, realistically, these are the real odds, okay? I mean, 1 in 1,000 times you go under anesthesia, something's going to go really wrong, and you're going to get either killed or horribly damaged.
Right, I agree 1,000,000%.
My issue is more with the fact that it went to court and there was a judge who ruled that they should keep her on ventilation and they should keep her on life support even after brain death. Like, that's part of our government and that's part of our law system and that's part of, like,
What's wrong?
part of the fucking problem. You know what I mean?
If you want to pay...
Okay, and so now whose property is it? You know what I'm saying? So it's always going to be an ambiguous part of the law is establishing who owns a 13-year-old, you know.
If you want to pay to keep somebody on life support, I don't really see an issue with that in principle.
But is it just the family that's paying for that?
What does the government have to do with it? Yes, they're being donated. Money is being donated. What does the government have to do with this decision at all?
Well, it went to court, and the government ultimately had the deciding choice.
Yeah,
Like, they
in
were the
California,
deciding factor.
it decided correctly and rationally.
In California, there's a law
I think that's
that's based on
debatable.
medical ethics.
Money could ever be rational, but are conceding to people's religious right of ownership. So if they're going to, in my opinion, if the state's going to have an opinion, it's going to be basically saying that it's going to take guardianship, and I'm just saying it's not being a good guardian if it's going to sit there and say, yeah, let's keep dead people alive. That doesn't make any sense.
That's not the point. The point is, first off, it's not against the law. If you want to pay to keep this person on life support, and we can get into the murky thing of, when does life truly begin? When does it truly end? I mean, I agree with you. Like, there's no hope. This she's gone. She's a vegetable.
I mean,
nonetheless, this is not
brain death. She's less than a vegetable. She has had brain death.
I know, but that doesn't matter. My point is, this is not a government issue. I mean, I don't see how it is, at least. If they want to keep her on life support and spend their money, who are we to say anything?
Court. Who took it to court? So somebody must have had standing to take it to court.
Right. And my issue is that they decided to keep her on life support after she's already been claimed dead. Like, she has already suffered brain death.
So?
And the government has decided, through this judge, to keep her on life support.
So? Who's suffering? Like, who cares?
Well, I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. There is a point here, though. I'm just saying, if the hospital is the one that took it to court because they're paying the bill, they have a right, okay? They have standing to say, we don't have an obligation to respect these religious people. We have an obligation to do what's medically appropriate in the circumstance, which is to let the dead die. It's dead. Let it die.
Well, no, the hospital has a right to say, that's all. All the hospital can say is, we're going to turn off the power, or we're not going to provide this service for free. You don't have the money, it solves itself. So where's the problem? It's all being paid for.
They can't do that, though, so that's why they're in court, right?
The problem is that the government had to step in, and the government had to say, no, you are legally obligated to keep this girl on life support until Monday. And meanwhile, there are probably other people who could be using that space and using that room and using those resources to be kept alive in a viable way.
A very good argument here, okay? Karen Ann Quinlan was on life support for 10 fucking years. Terry Schiavo was on life support for what, at least 7? All right, so till Monday doesn't sound all that fucking bad. So I guess they're going to make another decision on Monday. So he just made a stay of the previous circumstance. He's just saying, look, it's going to stay the way it is until Monday, and then we're going to make another decision based on if you want to take her to a private hospital, you can take her to a private hospital, and then you can keep her alive. But yeah, you're not going to be able to keep her alive in this public hospital on the public dole. I think that's what the judge is deciding here, is who has custody of this 13-year-old, and if the hospital is paying, they have custody. If the parents are paying, they can take their custody to some hospital that's willing to keep her alive. You can have your brain frozen. You can do a lot of weird things with your dead body. They're not going to say somebody can't play with the dead 13-year-old girl's body. So who the fuck cares? But I mean, yeah, if she's that brain dead, who has a real interest here? And I think all the state is doing in this case is just saying, well, yeah, the parents have a right, but the hospital has rights too. So until the parents take their responsibility, okay, and say how they're going to finance it, then they're not going to have rights anymore. Because yeah, the hospital doesn't have an obligation to keep dead people alive for you. All right, if I want a dead body preserved in the hospital has a right to say no, although we can keep pumping blood into the corpse, we're not going to do that because we're a hospital. We don't keep corpses alive.
That's right. And in
That's
California,
that's what my argument is more in that the judge has ruled that they have to keep her alive despite what the hospital has said. And she's
till Monday, okay? Till Monday. That means that the court is saying it's only a stay until the parents demonstrate how they're going to finance it. And if the parents don't prove a way to finance it, then the court will give the hospital a right to take her off life support. So until the parents say we're going to take custody of the daughter, then the daughter belongs to the hospital will kill her. I mean, will allow her to be morgarized.
A simple legal issue. That's all it is. Anything else, you have to look in the mirror and ask, maybe I have other like hates here for religion. I'm not saying you personally, but other people who are angry over this case, they have to take a good look in the mirror.
Well, just wait. Yeah, wait till it plays out. Okay, this is a case in progress. It isn't a case that's final. So wait till it's done and then complain.
Wait till all the Christian, well, not just Christian, it isn't right to say that. There are also other religions who really don't believe in, like, taking people off life support. Wait till their hawks get involved and it's like, you know, showdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I haven't thought about that, honestly. You're making good points.
Yes, that's what I often do. Yes.
I don't remember how we even got onto this topic, but no, I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion. I know I brought it up, but I don't remember why.
it had to do with our culture's relation to suicide.
Yeah,
and my earlier point was going to be that it's a religious Abrahamic tradition, and that suicide in other cultures around the world historically have been interpreted much differently than we do it now.
Well, I know, but there's not any culture where you're going to get like the Great Guy Award for committing suicide. But I mean, you know, but obviously they sort of have, you know, murder-suicide in some cultures, right? I mean, it's like the wife's obligation to jump on the fire when the husband dies. You know, that kind of, you know, they call it suicide, but it's not really, the wife isn't really committing suicide, right? She's basically told you either jump on the fire or you'll be a crack whore. You know, a woman of ill repute, because you didn't go with your husband. So, I mean, there's lots of, you know, forced suicides. I mean, in the Japanese culture, I mean, that was funny as shit. You know, so they love that crap. I mean, you know, guys who do that for a living just love that shit. It's like ambulance people, you know what I mean? They got like 1 million stories about like all the crazy shit that's happening in their ambulances and stuff, and so they love that. The more entertaining you can be in your sickness, oh, they love that crap.
Sick fucks.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying that's the nature of their job. So at least they like their work and, they're into it. So that's cool.
I was thinking about being a crime scene trauma cleaner upper guy. They make like $300 an hour here in Canada.
Yeah, and you never know. Every now and then one of the corpses, one of those little aliens pop out and shit. It's pretty cool. You know.
But then I heard they have to clean up like meth labs and shit. And that's the real dangerous part.
Yeah, I could take some of it, but I couldn't take that smell. You know what I mean? That corpsey smell shit. I can take, about 2 minutes of that, and then yeah, I'm gonna be puking because yeah, that smell
I
is just
actually know
so.
a guy that does it, and he says the smell is the worst. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
hardest thing to get over.
yeah, it's eesh,
You'd
it's
think
rough.
if your job is to clean up like awful, horrific crime scenes, there would be some way to fucking like don't they put a mask on them like to
They
filter
put
out
this
the stench?
special stuff over the top of their lip to block the smell.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
like
disguise it, but
Like they
it's
put this
fat.
cream.
So, but yeah, you think they would have like hazmat, I'd always be wearing my little hazmat suit, so yeah, you have your own little filter and shit, and that would be the way to go. But
But I mean, apparently you can still smell it through the hazmat suit. I mean, I heard humans smell so much more terrible than other animals because of all the shit we eat.
well, I don't know if that's it, but yeah, it is a vicious smell. I mean, it's vicious for a reason, I guess, for our own health. But it is funny how people talk about how, oh yeah, we've been eating dead stuff for millions of years. Yeah, I'm sure we walked up to corpses and said, oh, yummy, yummy. I mean, that smell of rotting flesh is just so inviting, it just makes you want to chow down.
I've always wondered though, so I guess it's good to know that like that scene in Silence of the Lambs where they're examining that chick that they fished out
Oh
of the
yeah.
river and they
Yeah.
smear that shit under their nose. I always wondered if that was an actual thing.
Yeah, well, they're very scientific in some movies. It's a very scientific movie. Yeah. Hannibal, yeah, he rips people's faces off and wears them. Oh, God, that is so cool. Greatest villain ever. Well, superhero, right? He's a superhero. He's not just a villain. He's a superhero. But he had me
He's an
though.
anti-hero.
Yeah, that was one of those moments, where you just say, "Oh, he had me at wearing somebody else's face," right? I mean, it was a great movie, but when he wore the guy's face, then oh, he had me. He just told, "Yes, okay, Hannibal, please kill me. All right, if I have to die, I want you to do it." Yeah, you're a man, you know.
One part of that part always bothered me though. Like he had time to string the one dude up like an angel with his guts hanging out. Like that's not something you can just do, you know. Like that takes a little time. Like where did he get the time to do that?
Thought, I peel his stuff with the same impression. It's like, oh, gee, that had to take some time. You know.
Wasn't that one of the newer ones? He did it.
If you're gonna go through all that trouble, you might as well do it
He
right.
Well,
based
it
off
was
like a
right. I mean,
medieval
it
execution.
was rather spectacular. You know.
No, and well, in Hannibal he does the
That
whole
girl
thing
is naked.
in Hannibal he does that whole thing where he hangs the dude like his ancestor. But no, the in the first one, like when he kills those two cops, he strings one of them up with his guts hanging out, and like that took time.
Well, the whole thing. I mean,
Carrying
if
a
you go
dead
through, you
body isn't
can't do
too easy.
figuring, right? If you do all the figuring, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, you're kind of stuck with yeah. No, don't think too much because yeah, it doesn't work. But it was it's a nice piece of theater. I mean, I really did like that movie. I like the character. I mean, Anthony Hopkins is just he's a great actor, and that was just a great movie for him. And I love the music. I mean, the other movie maybe wasn't as good, but I love that opera in the one you were talking about. You know, where he's, you know, throws the guy off the building. But that opera music they were playing throughout the whole movie, I love that music. It was so nice. Such a compliment to Hannibal. I guess that was the third one, right? Or I guess second one. Gee.
Yeah, they're all out of whack and out of order. 'Cause there was Red Dragon, which is a prequel, I guess.
Yeah.
To The Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that didn't even. I didn't really see the connection. You know, I didn't really feel any connection. So to me, that was almost a different story, because you really didn't get a sense of Hannibal in there.
Well, he was kind of an afterthought in that movie.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed the movie though. I thought that the serial killer was an interesting guy in his own right.
Yeah, and the young Hannibal was kind of a silly. You know, that was an interesting movie in itself, but it wasn't like, you know, you just said, nah, this isn't Hannibal. Like, this is my story. His story is different than this. You know, he didn't eat his sister. Oh, come on, that's bullshit.
All I remember is when he was on the airplane and he fed that Asian kid like a piece of flesh. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, the brains. Yeah, yeah. I just that was a great ending. You know, that the whole scene. You know, with the handcuffs and the whole thing. That was really a great ending, because you didn't see that coming really. But I loved when he was serving the guy's brains to him. You know, that was another great Hannibal moment. You know, just sautéing the guy's brains while he's talking to him. You know, yeah, yeah, that was a little bit like magic. You know. You want a bite? No, no, no. It's probably a little, yeah, too rich for you.
You know, like even the sexual tension between him and the police chick was pretty good. Like, I mean, there was sort of this weird romance between them. They sort of admired each other.
Yeah, I didn't like. I mean, I didn't think Jodie Foster was all that great. I didn't like what's her name. I hated her actually. So they could have done better, I think, in terms of that character.
Yeah, that was a good way to end Hannibal, though, because what's his name? Ray Liotta was such an unlikable fucking, like, just unrealistically unlikable piece of shit in that movie.
Yeah, it just was. It was just, you know. I mean, it was like, you know, the only thing missing from the first movie was you know, giving us a sampling of Hannibal taking care of the doctor, you know. From the
I mean, I really don't like horror movies, but I mean, there's only like a certain type of horror movies that I love. You know, like there's only like a handful of horror movies that I can say I enjoy.
Yeah, I don't put that really in the same category as horror, but I guess it is. Um, but yeah, it was bad in the basement. You know, that was the only time where I was like, oh, this is spooky. You know, when she's in the dark. But that was like the lamest part of the movie in a way, because you're just like saying, oh man, she was just lucky, right? I mean, he fucked around. I mean, he had her, right? I mean, he had her. She's dead. You know, he had her. And he fucking, oh, I'm going to be like a typical James Bond villain, and I'm going to fuck around with James Bond until he shoots me. And it's just like, no, you just shoot her, fucker, shoot her. And it's just like, yeah, this is just fucking bullshit. And he's sitting there, woo, playing little woo games with her in the dark, and it was just like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
He had to.
He's
He had
lying
to
there
just
with the
reach.
laser beam about to cut off his balls.
Yeah, he had to just reach out and caress her hair and shit. And, like, he's got a gun to her head, and he can't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
He's gotta run his fingers through her hair and shit in the dark.
Now you're saying a guy just you don't pull off making yourself a girl skin suit, right? And you don't get away with it that long and be that stupid, right? It just doesn't make any sense,
You also just don't not run your fingers through a girl's hair.
Well, I know, but you shoot her first. I mean, come on. He wasn't looking for sensation.
I loved his character though, because I loved how ridiculously offensive and blunt he was. Like when she comes to the door, asking about the girl, not knowing that of course she's found the killer. He's like, oh yeah, was she a great big fat person?
Yeah. So, yeah, even it was just great conversation. The glibness of it, And then going through all the cards, like he had a stack of cards, like 600 cards. Like this guy lives in nowhere, doing nothing, and he's got 600 business cards to go through. Oh yeah, what was that people I bought this house from? Yeah, it's in this pile of cards of just the people I buy houses from and live in, But that was another moment, like when she pulled the gun on him, and then she just lets him run away. Like, oh yeah, you're FBI, all right. Yeah, you got good FBI training there. Freeze or not. Oh, I guess you're doing the or not thing. Damn it.
Yeah, he just kind of nonchalantly ducks around the corner into the kitchen. It's like, oh, come on.
See ya, bitch. I'm going home. Bonnie, your mic is still open. Your last track.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it really was kind of tough to buy the whole hero thing with Clarice, because she just bumblefucked her way into that win. You know what I mean? Like in the worst possible way.
Yeah, I mean, she really did. She did everything wrong. She got locked in the garage. I mean, she, everywhere she went, she did something, cut her leg. I mean, it was just fail after failure after failure.
And I love the girl that he's got, down in the pit or whatever that she's trying to sell or she's trying to save. Like how harsh she is to Clarice. She's like, "Oh, walk away, you bitch! Get me out of here!"
Yeah, I like that. That was a good touch, though. Because she was kind of edgy. Yeah, I'm gonna catch this dog in a bucket, right? And then I'm gonna extort the guy with the dog, and I'm gonna break this fucking dog's leg, fucker. That was pretty good. Precious is gonna have a bad fucking time,
Yeah, a lot of great moments in that movie, though. You gotta love how Hannibal, like, couldn't resist fucking with the senator, too. Toughened your nipples, didn't it? You're like, oh, come on, Hannibal.
Yeah, that was an interesting whole thing, because it was so overdone again. They have him in the the face thing smashing his face. They're wheeling him up. It was just so, it was so preposterous on so many levels. Yeah, and he's just being a snarky asshole. It was, yeah.
They say when a man loses his arm, he can feel it tickling. When your little girl's on the slab, where will it tickle you?
Yeah, it was good stuff. It's the kind of thing Miggs would say, right? It's the kind of thing Miggs would say. Not anymore. Yeah, that was another good line. Grace is here. Yay. Unless she's going to type something insane. Excuse me. So, Paul, I see you're still smoking. I remember you saying something like you were still you were like going to quit vaporizing or something, but it looks like your vaporizers are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I've tapered down the nicotine to where I'm on almost no nicotine now, so it's just a matter of quitting the habit, I guess.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because I've gone exactly the opposite direction. I mean, I'm smoking now. I'm almost up to like 50 milligram nicotine. So it's, you're like, oh, it's probably not